Hey there, it's Zoe, your favorite weirdo, back with another episode on the NDE Files channel. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss out on the stories that'll have you questioning reality. Alright, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Today, we've got a story that's so mind-blowing, it's going to leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about life and death. Someone reached out to us with their personal account of a near-death experience, and we're sharing it here without judgment. This is an unconfirmed story, but it's one that might just make you question what you think you know about life and death. And get this, you won't believe what a 3-year-old toddler says they saw on the other side. Trust me, this is one you don't want to miss. This is going to be long, so bear with me. When I was about 3, I was with my mother who failed to watch or pay any attention to me. Her and my father were not good parents to me, and neglected me frequently, which led them to lose their parental rights to me when I was only 5. I spent a lot of the time with my dad's parents, but one day when I was with them, my dad left to get something and left me with my mom, who neglected me badly on several occasions. But I won't go into that. This story was recounted by me as a 3-year-old because I could talk real well to my dad, my grandmother, and any other family who was close to me at that time. So this isn't just made-up stuff I'm telling you. I told my family that my mother wasn't paying attention to me, that she was playing with a dog that was on our property, which was sorta in the country, on a big piece of land owned by a man who dug cisterns all around it. Since she wasn't paying me any mind, me, being a normal adventurous 3-year-old, decided to walk out the house by simply opening the door. Turns out my mother has a dissociative disorder, so she honestly probably had no idea I left. As I wandered around, I obviously eventually ran into one of those cisterns I just mentioned. If you don't know what a cistern is, it's basically a hole in the ground to collect rainwater, and they were boarded up by the owner, but I guess one wasn't properly boarded up, and I fell through it, into the mucky water. I was only 3, so I imagine it was deep enough for a small child to drown in. It was also February at the time, so it was cold, and I was bundled up in heavy clothing and boots. This detail I also told my grandma, who was with me in the hospital as soon as I woke up. Apparently, I told her all sorts of weird shit. And I'll tell you that too. Okay, so my mom eventually realized I wasn't inside the house, genius, and called my dad to come back. Now, I'm not sure how much time passed exactly during this, but I assume it was at least 10 minutes before she even realized I was gone. Then, my dad had to actually drive back to the house, and I don't know how far he was. So that could have taken 10 plus minutes, I don't know. I'll never know. Then, of course, it took my dad, who found me, however long to search for me and eventually find me in the bottom of the cistern. So maybe another 10 minutes, maybe less. All in all, 20 plus minutes had passed and I was already dead. That blows my mind every time I think about it, and I think about this fairly often because I just can't believe it happened to me. I was able to get some info from my dad, who unfortunately passed a few years back, and he told me some spooky shit about it too. He told me when he was searching for me, he ran past a lot of the cisterns, but not until he ran past the one I was in was when he felt a slap in his back, or chest. I forgot which one he said. But he told me he felt a hard force slam into him after searching frantically for me and not finding me. It was then that he knew I was in that cistern he passed, and he jumped right in, and sure enough, there I was, at the bottom of it. I sunk because of the weight of my clothing. Also, no one was around him when he felt this force. He was alone. But I forgot if he told me paramedics and police came before or after he found me. It's getting kind of fuzzy because he told me this almost 5 years ago. But he did say that when he found me, I was able to be revived. And I'm pretty sure he told me he was the one who brought me back. It took more than 5 minutes, he said. And at one point, he didn't think I'd come back. Why would I? I was cold, blue, with no pulse, and I had dirt in my nose, ears, eyes. I was in there way longer than what would have normally been okay. I don't know how I survived that, and how I'm alive today. It's crazy to me. When I came back, they had to airlift me to a hospital, and I was in a coma for a few days. I didn't know this fact till recently. My grandma was the one who was with me when I woke up. She told me I told her that her mother came to me when I died, and told me to go back to my body. But I told her no, I didn't want to. That I was happy there, wherever TF that was, that I felt safe and loved. My grandma was confused because I had never met her mother. and she had never told me her name before. She tells me these were my words. I saw Mary. She told me to come back to my body, but I didn't want to, but I finally listened. She told me I described her mother's appearance and what her name was. I was never told her name. My grandma to this day tells me that is the sole reason she believes in an afterlife and a spirit realm. She has faith because of what happened to me. I know this is really long and I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm sorry if this is the wrong place for this story. I think about it a lot. I was only 3, and I only know what all my family tells me. Maybe I'm just crazy. Wow, folks, can we just take a moment to let that sink in? I mean, come on, that story was out of this world, right? Big shout out to our brave storyteller for sharing that intimate journey with us. You've given us all a lot to ponder. If you're vibing with our content, go ahead and smash that like button and share this video. Let's get the conversation going far and wide, shall we? All right, my lovely weirdos, that's a wrap for today. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Join the family. This is your favorite weirdo, Zoe, saying, stay curious, stay awesome, and hey, keep questioning those boundaries between life and death. Catch you in the next episode, and until then, keep it weird. Love always, Zoe.